Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to a new episode of Talking Sam. I'm your host, Sam Macias, and this episode we're going to be discussing two topics on hand that I planned out and doing a spoiler review on the the newly released that came out last week, Fast X. Now, before we get into the topics and spoiler review at hand, I want to say thank you to everybody who has gone to my YouTube channel at Sam Macias and have watched all my interviews that I've posted on there with Rebecca Rose, Elijah De Jesus, the Not So Average Fangirl, and with Morgan Terry. They have been such great people to talk to. It's just shout out to all of them. They've been so giving with their time. I'm still baffled that they said, okay, yeah, I want to be interviewed. I was like, wow. Because most of the time when I go out and ask anyone out, hey, do you want to be interviewed? I don't usually hear back from them. Or if I do, they'll be, most likely, no, don't want to. And that's totally fine. Now everyone wants to be interviewed. That's cool. And I just have to thank them. They're pretty much so giving, again, so giving with their time, so generous. I appreciate them so much for that. And there's got to be more. I have been talking to some more people out in the YouTube space. And I've had some more interviews I have stored away. Pretty much back in since the pandemic started. People who have in the world of sports, whether it be in football, softball, pro wrestling, entertainment, music, you name it. I am a wide variety of person that loves to interview and talk to anyone with a story, and if I believe that it's a worthwhile story, I want to talk to them, share their story with the world, and have a good time talking, and see where it leads. But yes, so thank you to everyone who has been watching, commenting, and make sure you go on there and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. I want to build this. I want to grow. I want to, really take this seriously. I want to be at the tip top. I know I'm at the bottom of the barrel, but I really believe I can get myself up there. I'm one of those people that once I see myself do something, I can definitely take it to the top, and I do believe this is the case. And I know, just talking to some of these, been talking to Morgan lately. She's been such a great help. Kind of been like my go-to person on some of these things. And so thank you to her. Again, thank you to everyone who's been watching, who I reached out and reached back to me. More interviews coming with new people you might not even heard of. And I'm hoping they bring new nuance, new backgrounds that you never heard of, and it will get you interested in going into their genres. But other than that, let's get started. So, I don't know if you guys are interested in indie animation. Me, myself, I am. And there's one independent animation. Sorry, one second, get some water. Not editing that out. I'm going to keep that in. There's one indie animated show out there on YouTube that has been pretty much the more popular one nowadays, called Helluva Boss. Now, I'm a point blank out there, is one of these raunchy, hard R comedy animated shows that, it makes you think, why isn't it on a bigger network? Because you have to think, this show is so funny, the animation is so clean, the writing is spot on, the characters. Let me just say, I don't want to spoil anything because the episodes are all on YouTube. Just go type in Helluva Boss, you'll find all of them on there. But the characters, you will love them, you will hate them, and it's okay because they're supposed to be loved and hate. Sometimes more hated, sometimes more loved. And that's just the crux of it. And with this animated show, let me just say, it's not for kids. So if any kids happen to stumble upon this one, maybe it's time for that parent to check on their parental controls. Or if that parent wants to, hey, who am I to judge? I'm not judging. If you want to show your kids that, go ahead, by all means. But if you're our fan, we just got an update from the creator of Helluva Boss, Vianney Medrano, I believe that's how you say her name. If not, I apologize. goes by VZ Pop on Twitter. She responded to someone else on Twitter asking how many episodes are we getting this season, because last season they did I believe 8 episodes first season, and they're already 4 into their second season. She responded to the person on Twitter saying that we're going to get 12 episodes this season. Now, the way they've been doing Helluva Boss releasing episodes, they kind of been doing, normally it'll be, for animated shows, it'll be week to week basis, and then take some time off to go on a hiatus, work on the second half of the season, and then finishing off. But what they do is they take their time on their episodes. And what I mean by that is they debut one episode, and then after we will probably have to wait roughly, I want to say maybe 3 to 4 months before we get a new episode. Maybe even longer, just depending how much time they need to work on the episode. Because like I said, the animation for this kind of independent show is insane. Like, it is top notch. The work, the care, the blood, I'm assuming blood, sweat, and tears that they all put into a show is insane. And hopefully they get some kind of award for this, because I don't see how they don't, because yeah, animation top notch. Like, I put it up with some of the old school ones and some of the ones today. Animation wise, style wise, story wise, completely different. And that's okay. It's not meant to be how it was back then or what it is now for shows on mainstream medium, but that's fine. For what it presents, for what it gives on YouTube, it works. It's perfect. It's just what we need. Okay, I'm gonna get some more water real quick, guys. Sorry. I like to talk. I was working out today. It gets me all... Bleh. One moment. Oh, my second gallon today. Jeez. Alright, our second topic today, we're going to be talking about the newly streaming name service, Max. It's where you can find HBO. Yeah, how stupid does that sound? So today they've released Max for everyone to log in, sign up, do all that. It's the newly merged streaming service from Warner Bros. Discovery, from where they've merged Discovery Plus and HBO Max into one and just call it Max, which, let's go into the name. The name's stupid. It's so dumb, so lazy. Like, Warner Brothers has so many billions of dollars of a marketing think tank group, and Max is the only name they could come up with. Like, okay, here's some free ones for you. Discovery Max, Max Discovery, HBO Discovery, Discover HBO. Boom. How about that? Discover HBO. You could have gone I know it's been played out, Warner Brothers Plus. You could have kept the plus for Discovery and put WB Plus. I mean, just calling it Max isn't eye attention, doesn't grab you. It's just so bleh. Where can you find your great shows on, like, Game of Thrones, The Last of Us, Rick and Morty, all there? Where can you find Fixer Upper? Where can you find Dr. Pimple Pumper? Max. Oh, okay, well, that's anticlimactic. And today they have been reporting some minor issues when they were rolling out, and I've kind of experienced that as well today. When you're trying to log in or downloading the app is not hard. You download it, boom, that's it. It's on your phone, on your TV, on your anywhere you have to download an app. Getting into the app is another story. And what I mean by that is when you try to put in your login information, your email, password, it will take you to okay, you got to do these steps to prove you're a human, not a robot, which I think, whatever. And then it will say it will still not work. And a lot of people were reporting that this morning. Reading this article from Variety, it just updated that its big launch day for Warner Bros. Discovery Max and the newly revamped streaming service encountered some technical problems right off the bat. The company said the issues have been minor and were swiftly fixed. Now, it's not a very good start, especially with Warner Brothers going by what they've been doing, cutting so much of the shows from the streaming service, like all the great animation shows they're trying to get rid of. Most of the other shows that they're canceling because not releasing Batgirl because it's not up to standards, where at the same time they gave us Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and was that really up to Warner Brothers standards? I don't know. Not to say it wasn't a bad movie and all, it's just they kind of hurt their own statements by saying we want to put out the best product out there, while at the same time they're letting other product out into the consumer that hurt their name brand. And also, it doesn't help that their COO owner goes to Boston University, gives their speech, and gets mercilessly booed by the entire graduating class. Like, if you go to that YouTube video of David Zaslav trying to give their commencement speech, he's just drowning by all their boos, and everyone's shouting at him, pay your writers, pay your writers. I mean, but you should. They deserve a fair compensation, fair, decent wage, as everyone should in life. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, having that happen right before the launch of HBO, or not HBO Max anymore, just Max, it's not really a good look. I mean, I'm giving them this after going through everything, after all the, and like they said in this article, my quote unquote minor fixes were, the minor bugs were fixed. The interface on Max is a lot better than what HBO Max presented. The aesthetic of it is more presentable. It's more unique. It's more flowing. And I will also say, if you want to look for a certain show that you want to find, it'll have those. It makes it easier to find those tabs for you as well. And all in all, at the end of the day, not a good start for Max, but let's see what it goes. I watched a couple episodes of the Smartless show that they released today. I love their I love the podcast of Rowan and Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes. Every week, they're just great to listen to. And watching their show, what they do, how they prep for a live show on the road is really unique. And they know the camera's there. They know they're amping it up for our show, and they're doing it more just for whoever's going to be watching it. But at the same time, it's kind of cool just getting that behind the peak scene of how they do their thing. And it was kind of fun. Not going to lie. Pretty fun. And yes, I took more water and drank some more water. All right. Now the reason why you're all here, my review of Fast X, the new Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel, high octane, fast car driven adventure. Now, when you go into a Fast and Furious movie, you put all your sense of logic, all your sense of intelligence, all your sense of reasonability out the window. Because you don't usually get that a lot when you go into a Fast and Furious movie. And when you put that all onto the side, you sit down, you watch the movie start, it still is what it is. Now, I'll say this, I did not hate the movie. I did not entirely enjoy the movie. I thought there were just some lines in this movie where it was just so face-palmingly bad. Like I'm gonna be jumping back and forth throughout the whole this. I'm getting all my grief out first, so let me please get all my grief out. This movie is one-liner central. Like there's literally one one-liner in the movie at the end where Dom's on top of a dam and there's two semis right filled with gasoline going to ram Dom in the middle, and Momoa's, I forget what he was. He was somewhere off a cliff, remote controlling them, gonna have him ram him, and then Dom Toretto tells him, "You may have taken everything from me, but it didn't take my car." It's like, oh my god, who the hell wrote that? And this movie, it was stricken with so many problems production-wise. It lost its director about, I would probably want to say, before Midway it was shot. Justin Lin was the director of the movie before he decided to quit because, one, Vin Diesel was being, I'll say, from what we've heard, from what we read, allegedly, Vin Diesel was kind of being a dick, being overweight, not caring about the script, not remembering the lines. So he quit, and we got, I believe the director's name is Larry Leterrier. He was director of the Incredible Hulk movie, the 2008 one with Edward Norton, which, is not a bad movie. It's kind of fun, kind of a good reintroduction of the Hulk, and he did a good, fairly decent job in that. I mean, it's not a great masterpiece, but it's not a bad movie either. And what he was given was probably on short notice was probably the best that we got. And this could have been a lot worse. Like, this could have been Fast 9 bad. Fast 9 was horrible. Let me just say, Fast 9 was horrible. I mean, this wasn't as bad as Fast 9. I mean, they did do the dumb, defying logic chase scenes. Like, there's this one scene where they're driving around Italy. They're trying to stop a bomb from hitting the Vatican, and there's almost no way to stop the bomb. But what does Dom do? Drives his car off a bridge, hitting a crane, and the crane somehow, the car has enough force and power to hit the crane hard enough to go a whole 360 around to hit the bomb. The bomb's rolling, by the way. You see that in the trailers and the commercials. A rolling bomb through Italy. Has enough force and power to hit the crane, go a 360 around, and to knock the bomb to the other side into a river, and boom, it blows up without blowing up the Vatican. And I'm just watching it. I'm just like, okay, really? That was just so horribly bad. I'm like, okay, sure. And literally they went, and the movie doesn't take time to settle. It doesn't take time to let everything that just happened said. Like, literally after the bomb exploded, they went to the next scene, the next chase scene. Because literally after that, they were chasing Momoa through the streets of Italy trying to stop him, and nothing. Like, the movie was so fast-paced, it did not give a chance to breathe. Another criticism I want to give this movie is it really went away from the family aspect that they really hammer home through the past 4 to 5 movies. Because I remember saying this in my Out of the Theater reaction. They did the Empire Strikes Back trope where all of our heroes are separated into their side adventures. So we have Tyrese, Ludacris, Han, God, I'm forgetting her name. Nathaniel Emmanuel's character. I'm forgetting her name in the movie. Like, that's how bad these movies are. Like she's there. I just don't know what her name is. She's part of the family, I guess. But why? Who knows? Because she's smart. They need another smart person. But they're off doing one thing. Literally, Vin Diesel, Dom is off on his own, going from literally from Italy to Brazil to Spain. Like there's when the movie does that. Also, Letty's in Antarctica with Charlize Theron's character, aside for which I'll get into that in a moment. Everyone's spread out. It makes the story so muddy. It makes the core aspect of the movie so hard to try to keep up. Because when you're trying to fill in the blanks with Brie Larson's character, Little Miss Nobody, with Alan Richardson's character, Ames, it kind of makes it feel so jumbled up. You're literally going from one to another, and just there's no consistency. There's no aim. There is no right course of direction for this movie to go. By the way, not cameo, but the appearance of Rita Moreno as Dom's grandma. Come on, seriously. Vin Diesel's like pushing 55. Rita Moreno, I'm pretty sure she's maybe 70 or 80. Saying that she's your grandma? Come on, let's be real. Come on. Sure, she can be fine. She can be grandma. Grandma Toretto. Whatever. But really, come on. Anyways, we get those famous cameos. We get a Pete Davidson showing up as a black market guy to where if you need to find weapons in London on the black market, here's our white American guy in London who knows his stuff. And like I said, the movie is very all over the place. It's very random. Things just happen. And it doesn't allow you to think, okay, I can see it. I can see this happening. And obviously, 99.9999 of this movie can never see happen. All right. Now I got all my grievances out of the way. Now let me tell you about all the good things I like about this movie. Jason Momoa is probably my favorite villain this year in a movie. Maybe of all media, maybe of all of entertainment right now in TV, because you can just tell he had so much fun being Dante in this movie. And some backstory, if you watch the movie, you weren't paying attention. He's the son of the bad guy in Fast 5, which that was one thing I was looking forward to. They're kind of going back to what kind of works for them. What worked in Fast 5? Okay, I like that. Let's kind of bring this over to here and kind of make this full circle. And what they've made with Jason Momoa's character, it's like this jacked up Joker-like character. Like there's literally one scene where, you see it in the trailers. He goes, "All right, nerds, what are we doing?" "Whoa, we're blowing up the Vatican? Okay, you're going to hell, but we might as well do it." And then we also see, literally go back to Brazil, and he's doing a manicure for his people that he kidnapped to work for him. And next, he's doing the pedicure and everything, talking to them like they're nothing. Next thing we know, we see the camera pan out. They're dead. He's like literally talking to their bodies as if they're still alive, all happy, willy-nilly. But him talking to their corpse, literally rotting corpse, and you see the flies just hovering above their dead bodies. To him talking to them, say, "Hey, make sure you drink those mojitos. I'm gonna go steal the money. You guys rock. Mi casa es su casa." And that whole scene literally made it worth me watching this movie, because literally everything Jason Momoa did, every single second he was on the screen, was worth it. Because he was, I'll say it, he is my favorite Fast villain out of all the ones they brought, because he wasn't the typical drug dealer. He wasn't the typical mean face crime lord or world-ending bad guy. No, he was just this psychotic maniac who just wanted revenge. He just wants revenge on Dom and his family, and you know what? He got it. Like the movie literally ends on him blowing up a dam in Portugal, Spain, Portugal. I forgot which one. And it's about to run over. It's about to hit Dom after his friends got shot down by a plane, assuming they're dead. That's the rule, but there's a rule in TV and movies if you don't see them die on screen that they're not dead. So obviously they're not died. They're not dead. And then the screen cuts to black, and we go back to Antarctica with Michelle Rodriguez and Charlize Theron's character. Now, I think they should have really be done with Cypher, because if they really turn this out to be her joining the team, this is really going to be Fast and Furious Dragon Ball Z. Like, literally every single bad guy that they have fought against has eventually joined the team. Like Jason Statham, Dwayne Johnson wasn't a bad guy, but was an enemy, but then eventually joined the family. But you know, he was against them, but now he's part of them. Like, really, like, is she? I don't know. Is she the Frieza of the Fast and Furious? Thought I had a burp there, but I didn't. But yeah, look, the fight scenes that we saw in this movie, obviously top notch. I mean, doesn't really make sense that every single person that Vin Diesel's character knows has to know martial arts, karate, taekwondo. But hey, whatever. Suspension of disbelief, like I said. And, you know, honestly, I wasn't expecting a lot. I was hoping for a little bit better of a product. We did get a little bit better, but not that much better. And they were saying this before the movie came out, that the studio was like, oh, we might want you to make this a 2-parter, a 3-parter, because of that great ending, which, by the way, the ending that Michelle Rodriguez was hyping up about, Gal Gadot gets out of the submarine when her and Charlize Theron escape a black site from Antarctica when they both get captured. Like, and that's another thing. Like, how are you going to explain Gal Gadot's character coming back? Like, we would have been fine with her being dead. It made sense her being dead because she literally fell full speed off. She wasn't off the plane, but just falling backwards on a tarmac more than 100 miles an hour, I'm assuming. I mean, that's death. But, you know, this is becoming the fake death fast universe now. So, literally, we see John Cena, oh my god. What a 180. Like, he was this badass, menacing character in the last one. This one, it's like I'm watching him in, I don't know, what's a movie he was in where he was goofy? The Suicide Squad, where he was just cracking jokes, being goofy, and it's just so weird. Like, so in the time that, from the last one to this, he was Uncle Jacob and this and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, I'm just so confused about what we, like, it doesn't, and again, like, another thing that they failed to do in this movie, it doesn't set you up for what the character was doing and how that brings us to that. And I'm hoping in the next one, in just one, because they were saying that they want to stretch this out to 3 movies, kind of like how Warner Brothers wanted The Hobbit to be 3. It was supposed to be 2, but oh well, because they want money. That bit them in the ass. And I think if they decide to do 3 on this, it's gonna bite him in the ass, because this movie, this franchise, you've done all you can. You've literally milked every single milk out of this cow. There's no more. You just gotta call it. Do one more. Close all the stories. And, you know, give an ending that we can all enjoy. Because, you know, I'm pretty much done with this franchise, honestly. Maybe they should have ended with 7 after Paul Walker died. It was a great ending, and yeah, it's time for them to walk away into the sunset. I really do. If I have to rate it out of 5, I think the appropriate 2.7 out of 5 is well enough. And honestly, I want to give it a 3. Literally, that 2.7 is all for Jason Momoa, because he literally carries the movie on his back, does everything he can to make sure you are entertained as soon as he gets there until we see his last scene. By the way, he's in the last scene in the credits with The Rock, because The Rock's back. Because they make this point where he's after Don because Don killed his dad. He technically was there when he died, but he didn't kill him. The Rock's character, Hobbs, killed him. And, that makes sense. That makes sense, because if you were going to have him be so gung-ho revenge on him, wouldn't you want revenge on the guy who actually shot and killed your dad? So that was another, okay, that a lot of the things that didn't make sense in this movie, that one, okay, that makes sense. All right. Thank you for bringing back The Rock. He needed to do something after failing to shift the power of order in the DC universe. But anyways, that's my review of Fast X. What did you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy? Did you have fun with that? I hope you did, because again, movies are subjective. If you love it, great. If you didn't, you thought it was a pile of crap, okay, I understand. I can see where you're coming from. But again, let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. You can also find this episode on my podcast feed on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you listen to your podcasts. Make sure to follow me on Facebook at Sam Macias, Instagram at Sam Macias5, Twitter at SamMac55. And make sure to share this with everyone as well. If you're sorry about that. If they're interested in learning about what happened with HBO Max today, what's Helluva Boss, show them this. Have them listen to this. Hopefully I give them enough intel and knowledge for them to be intrigued by it. Alright guys, I'm so glad for you to join me today, and until next time, bye.